Hi, welcome to Chemistry Online. See, in previous class we discussed concentration of the ore, the stages involved in the concentration of the ore. First one, levitation or hydraulic washing. Second one, magnetic properties. Third one, froth flotation. So one more process is there in that is we are going to discuss leaching. It is also important. This is the fourth process in concentration of the ore. This is nothing but a leaching. This is the fourth process in concentration of the ore. Is nothing but a leaching. By this process, a purification of aluminum we are taking, purification of bauxite. So from bauxite aluminum we have to extract. In that process, first concentration of the ore we have to do. So in that, sodium hydroxide, aqueous sodium hydroxide is added to bauxite. Aqueous sodium hydroxide is added to bauxite at a particular temperature and 35 to 37 bar pressure, then which gives sodium meta-aluminate is formed. So leaching can be done in 3 stages. It can be done in 3 steps. It can be done in 3 steps. The first one is step 1. Step 1, it is nothing but taking Al2O3, adding sodium hydroxide which is aqueous, gives rise to NaAlOH taken 4. Okay, so this type of molecule is formed. It is nothing but sodium meta-aluminate. So this is a sodium meta-aluminate. So this is a bauxite. It is a sodium hydroxide. So for balancing this, you have to take here 2. So Na, 2Na, 2Na, then 2Al2, 4 2 is 8. So if you take Al2, 2Al, 3 plus 1, 2, 5. So next NaAlOH taken 4 is formed. So if you take 4, then what happened? If you take 4, then if you take 4Na, then 4Na. Then if you take 2Al, 4Al, then 4 3s are 2 3s are 6, 6 plus 4 10, then 4 4s are 16. NaAlOH taken 4. So if you take 2, then that what happened? So 4 2s are 8, then 2 sodiums. Then here if you take 2 3s are 6, then sodium meta-aluminate is formed. So here sodium, then oxygens how many? 3 plus 1 4, then hydrogens 4. Then you have to take sodium meta-aluminate is formed. In leaching process, first sodium meta-aluminate is formed, and then here have to add aqueous sodium hydroxide. Now you have to add water molecule also. Aqueous sodium hydroxide means we have to add water molecules. Then what happened? NaAlOH taken 4 is formed. Then what happened? How to balance now? If you take 2, then 2Na. If you take 2, then 2Na, then Al2, 2Al, then 4 2s are 8, then already here if you take 3, so 3 plus 3 plus 2 8, then it is a balanced. It is a sodium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, it is a sodium meta aluminate, sodium meta aluminate, it is the first stage. Then after that it is in basic nature. In step 2, to the sodium meta aluminate neutralizing, so neutralizing with CO2 gas, then what happened? 2 NaAlOH taken 4, 2 NaAlOH taken 4 plus CO2 gives rise to Al2O3 and 3H2O plus NaHCO3 is formed. So NaHCO3 is formed. Then what happened? How to balance this? Okay, if you take 2 NaHCO3, then 2 Na, 2 Na, 2 Al, Al2, then 4 2s are 8, 8 means 3 2s are 6 plus 2, 8, oxygens 3, 3 plus 3, 6, 2 3s are 6, 6 plus 6, 12, so oxygens 4 2s are 8, then if you take 2, then it is a balance. So it is nothing but a bauxite. So on heating, then step 3, so on heating Al2O3 and 3H2O is heating at 1170 kelvins, then Al2O3 plus 3H2O is formed. This forms precipitate. It is a precipitate. This precipitate is formed. So this precipitate dried and heat, filtered and heat the precipitate. Filtered and heat the precipitate. Then what happened? You will get a aluminum. So these are 3 stages involved in leaching. These 3 stages are involved in leaching. Okay. Then we go for isolation of the metal or extraction of the metal from concentrated ore. That is the second stage of metallurgy. Extraction of crude metal from concentrated ore, or that is nothing but second stage, extraction of crude metal or extraction of metal from concentrated ore. So this is second stage. In second stage, 2 processes are involved. First one, if the oxide is not ore, you have to convert it into, if ore is not oxide, you have to convert it into oxide. Okay, if the ore is not oxide, you have to convert it into oxide. Second stage, reduction of the oxide. Okay, so in this one, first stage, extraction of the metal from concentrated ore involves 2 processes. The first one is nothing but conversion of ore conversion of ore into oxide. Conversion of ore into oxide. Okay. Conversion of ore into oxides involves two process. First one is roasting. And second one is calcination. Roasting and calcination. In this one, conversion of ore into oxide, first one roasting, second one now calcination. So in this process, ore is heated in presence of oxygen at a high temperature below its fusion point. Below its fusion point or below its melting point. See, in this process, ore is heated in presence of air, means O2, below its melting point. Heating in this process, ore is heated in the presence of air below its melting point. For example, Fe2O3 into 3H2O. Fe2O3 into 2H2O. On heating, it can be converted into Fe2O3 plus 3H2O. Water molecules will be escapes. So the ore is not oxide, so we are converting into oxide. So it is nothing but Fe2O3. Then ZnS, it is not oxide, we have to convert it into oxide. Conversion of ore into oxide. ZnS plus O2 on heating in presence of air. Then ZnO plus SO2. If you take 2, if you take 3, if you take 2, if you take 2, then that is a balance. It is SO2. In the same way, PbS, lead sulfide, reacts with oxygen on heating. It is a PbO plus SO2. If you take 2, if you take 3, if you take 2, if you take 2, then that is a balance. So this is nothing but a conversion of ore into oxide. Next, calcination. In this process, ore is heated in absence of air. Absence of air means O2 below its fusion point. It's a fusion point. Fuses. At what temperature it fuses means it melts nearly, and that's a type of melts. That is nothing but it's a fusion point. So it is nothing but absence of air. It is nothing but presence of air. Okay, have to know the difference between these two. So here examples. Here we may say examples. So what are examples means? MgCO3 on heating. So MgO plus CO2. Next ZnCO3 on heating. ZnO plus CO2. Okay. The same way we may convert if it is not ore into, if it is not oxide, then you have to convert it into oxide. This is roasting, that is a calcination. Okay. Then CaCO3 into MgCO3 on heating. Then CaO plus MgO plus 2CO2. Okay, 3 plus 3 is 6. 2 2s of 4, 4 plus 2 6, CaCaMg. So this is the way. It is a very important question for 4 marks. Roasting and calcination is very important for 4 marks. So here extraction of the metal from concentrated ore can be done in first one, conversion of the ore into oxide. Next one, if the oxide is not ore is not oxide, then you have to convert ore into oxide. First conversion of the ore into oxide. In this second stage is, in this one second stage is reduction of oxide. Reduction of oxide. So here it is a first one and it is a second one. Second one, reduction of oxide. Okay, for reduction of oxide can be done. So in this process, ore plus reducing agent plus flux and heat. Okay, so ore plus reducing agent, we have to add reducing agent, then you have to add flux, then heat. It is nothing but a reduction of oxide. So you have to know here smelting, heating the ore on adding reducing agent, in presence of flux, and heating the ore, adding reducing agent in presence of flux above its melting point. Okay, it is called smelting. For example, Fe2O3 plus if you add C, then 2Fe plus 3CO. So here coke is a reducing agent. So here no need of a flux. So that is a flux is added, depends upon the ore which we are taking. If its melting point is high, you have to add flux. If its melting point is low, then no need of a flux. Next ZnO plus C gives rise to Zn plus CO. So here reduction can be done. We are removing oxygen with help of a coke. It is reducing agent. It is a reducing agent. It is reducing agent. It is a ore. It is a ore. Okay, it is a metal. Okay, it is a metal. It is a waste gas. It is a waste gas. Here also it is a waste gas. Okay, so this is nothing but a reduction of oxide. So here extraction of metal from concentrated ore is nothing but first one conversion of ore into oxide, next one reduction of oxide. Okay, it is the second method. in metallurgy. Second method in metallurgy. Okay, and then we have to discuss about Ellingham diagram. Ellingham diagram. See here, we are going to discuss about Ellingham diagram. What is Ellingham diagram means? It was introduced by H.J.T. Ellingham. H.J.T. Ellingham. Okay, so here the diagram is a plot. It is a plot. It is a plot delta G naught versus temperature. Okay, delta G naught equal to standard Gibbs energy. Standard Gibbs energy change. It is a change in standard Gibbs energy. T equal to temperature. T equal to temperature in Kelvin. Okay, so this was introduced by H.J.T. Ellingham. It is a plot between delta G naught versus temperature. Delta G naught is a change in standard Gibbs energy. See, temperature is we are taking in Kelvin. So here delta G naught equal to negative for spontaneous redox reactions. Delta G is negative, then formation of delta G equal to negative, then formation of oxide is feasible. Feasible means possible. Okay, so what is Ellingham diagram means? The diagram which gives a plot between delta G naught, which is a change in standard Gibbs energy, and temperature for formation of different oxides. So here we are going to discuss plot. So this is, I am taking temperature in Kelvin. It is 273 kelvins. It is 673 kelvins. it is 1073 kelvins, it is 1473 kelvins, it is 1873 kelvins, and it is 2273 kelvins. Okay, so it is 0, it is minus 100, it is minus 200, it is minus 300, it is minus 400, it is minus 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1000, 1100, 1100 minus 1200. It is minus. It is a delta Z naught in kilojoules per mole. Okay. So the plot between delta Z naught, change in standard Gibbs energy, and temperature, which gives a formation of oxides. So what is the use of this diagram means, see, on seeing this diagram we may easily know at what temperature the oxide will be formed. So here first at 300 minus 300 kilojoules per mole, Cu plus O2 minus 300 Cu plus O2 gives rise to Cu2O is formed. If you take 2Cu, if you take 2Cu, here 4Cu have to take, okay, S minus 300 kilojoules per mole, then 350 kilojoules per mole, and here 350 kilojoules per mole, okay. C plus O2 gives rise to CO2 oxide can be forms at a high temperature, and here 350 kilojoules per mole energy is released. At the same time at 400, Fe plus O2 gives rise to Fe plus O2 gives rise to FeO, 2FeO, 2Fe can forms, okay. And then at 500 C at C 200 to 300 between C plus O2 gives rise to CO is formed. At 200 to 300 between C plus O2 gives rise to CO is formed. If you take 2CO, then 2, it is balanced. Then here at bottom of the, an Mg plus O2 gives rise to MgO, which is at 1100, which is at 1100. Mg plus O2 gives rise to 2MgO is formed. So it is a Ellingham diagram. The Ellingham diagram shows us the formation of oxide at a particular temperature and releasing energy in the form of negative. So this is nothing but a Ellingham diagram. The Ellingham diagram is, it is a plot between delta G naught versus T. Delta G naught is nothing but a standard change in Gibbs energy, then T is a temperature. G is a negative, then the formation of oxide is a feasible, means possible. So why here we are taking delta G naught as a negative means, for spontaneous redox reactions delta G naught is always negative, okay. So this is briefly today's class.